Hello, so before now, we spent our time looking at the meaning of law and the meaning of indices. We told ourselves that laws are specific rules and regulations that must be followed in order for success to be achieved. While indices, I told you that it is the plural of the word index. An index is a whole number with an exponent, let's say 3. If this is the whole number, it is called the base. And this is the power, it is called the exponent. Is called the exponent. So for us to have an index, we must have the combination of a base and an exponent. Now, I also explained in the last class that we have something we referred to as laws of indices. And the first law of indices that I told you about is this: x raised to the power of a times x raised to the power of b. And I said when it is like this, you pick the common base because the bases are common. You pick one of the base and then you add up the power. It is the same as when you have something like this: x raised to the power of a times x raised to the power of b times x raised to the power of c times even x raised to the power of d. You pick the common base and add up the power. A plus b plus c plus d. It is as simple as that. That's the first law of indices. So today we're going to spend some time looking at some examples, exercises. Don't forget that this video is for those who are in JSS 2, JSS 3, and let's say SS1. In fact, for any class, anybody that is interested in it, but specifically this video is being made for those who are in JSS 2, JSS 3, and SS1. So it's specific, right? So if you know somebody who is in any of these classes, share the video to the person, let the person come and have a benefit, because this is part of their scheme. It's very, very important. Now, let's go to the first question I'm going to create. The question is 2 raised to the power 2 times 2 raised to the power 3. So suppose there's a question like this. What will be the solution? The solution to this will be applying the first law of indices that says x raised to the power a times x raised to the power of b should be equal to x raised to the power of a plus b. So if you apply that, you're going to have for 2 raised to the power of 2 times 2 raised to the power of 3, it will also be the same. X is x, this is x, 2 is 2, this is 2, a is 2, just like here, plus b is this, 3. And the final answer will be 2 raised to the power of 2 plus 3 is 5. That's the answer to the first question. So you see it's as simple as that. Now let me create another question. Say we have 4 raised to the power of 5 times 2 raised to the power of 3. Okay, let's assume this is power now, is the exponent. Here we have 4. You can open brackets and write 2 raised to the power of 2 because 2 power 2 is actually 4. Then 5 is also another power that is there, that was initially attached to 4 according to the question, times 2 raised to the power of 3. Now power will multiply power, so you have 2 times 5 give you 10, right? And then 2 power 3. Is that clear? So final answer, according to the first law of indices, you have 2 raised to the power of 10 plus 3. That will be 2 raised to the power of 13. All right. Now, suppose I am creating another question. Suppose I'm creating another question such as this. Let me call it number 3. Let me rule this and call this number 3. And say number 3 is 2 raised to the power of 5 times 2 raised to the power of 3. The answer, according to the first law of indices that says x raised to the power of a times x raised to the power of b will give us x raised to the power of a plus b. Then 2 raised to the power of 5 times 2 raised to the power of 3 will give us 2 raised to the power of 5 plus 3. And that will give you 2 raised to the power of 8. Pass. Pass indeed. That's the answer. Now, number 4. Let's say we have 2 raised to the power of 6 multiplied by 2 raised to the power of 1. This will give me, following the first law of indices that says y raised to the power a times y raised to the power b is equals to y raised to the power a plus b. If you observe, I changed the base. I've been using x. You can be y, it can be anything. So I did it intentionally. Therefore, 2 raised to the power 6 times 2 raised to the power 1 will give us 2 raised to the power 6 plus 1. And that will give us 2 raised to the power 7. That's the answer. You see, so you see that it's not difficult, it's easy, right? If you find something a little complex, put it on the comment section and I'll respond to it. I'll respond particularly to you, and that's no joke. Number 5. Suppose you have this question: 4 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 4 raised to the power of 3 multiplied by 16. What will the answer be? Reduce every other thing to the smallest base, which is 2. For example, take note that this is power 1. Any number that you have that is standing alone on its own, that number has a power of 1. 1 is the universal power. It is always there, it's always significant, it's always positive, it's always available. So this is having power 1 because there's no power. This is having power 1 because there's no power. Now you can reduce all the numbers that do not have the smallest base to the smallest base where it is possible. Here it is possible, so that will be 2 raised to power 2. Don't forget there's power 1 outside. Times 2 raised to power 1. You are not reducing this because this is the smallest base. Multiply by 2 raised to power 2 power 3 is outside times 16. 2 raised to power what? Let's check. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2 raised to power 4. Then there's power 1 outside. So this is 2. 2 times 2 is 2 times 1 is 2. That is power multiplying power. Multiply by 2 power 1 times 2 raised to the power of the power multiply power. 2 times 3 is 6. Right? Times 2 raised to the power of 4 times 1 is 4. Okay. So this will give us, now we have all the numbers having the same base. See, they have the same base. So what do we do? According to the law of indices that says x raised to power a times x raised to power b times x raised to power c will give us x raised to power a plus b plus c. Therefore, 2 raised to power 2 times 2 raised to power 1 times 2 raised to power 6 times 2 raised to power 4 will give us 2 raised to power 2 plus 1 plus 6 plus 4. And that will give us 2 raised to the power of 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 6 is 9, 9 plus 4 will give us 13. Right, and that will be your final answer at the end of the day. Now this is when the question says you should leave your answer in index form, INDEX. If you have to leave your answer in index form, you leave it like this. If you have to leave your answer in whole number, always you multiply that index. That is, you could have something like 2 times 2, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So all of these, if you multiply them together, whatever it gives you in whole number, that's when you are leaving your answer in whole number. If you're leaving your answer in index, you leave it like this. But the question does not specify, does not ask you, specifically tell you to leave your answer in whole number or index. You will have to leave your answer in index, just like this. I hope you got that. If you have questions, drop it in the comment section. If there's no question in the next class, I shall be moving to the second law of indices, and I'll bring exercises that correspond or correlate first law of indices that I've just explained and the second law of indices together. Thank you, and like, comment, say something. If you don't understand, if there are criticisms of any kind, just drop them in the comment section. We'll improve the video in the next video, the next shooting. Thank you, and have a nice day.